Hi everyone and welcome back to the Color Authority. Today I'm going to be talking to Pavo Wong, designer of Pink Magnolia. Together with her sister, she's leading the pink revolution. Now, Paula and Pamela Wong are the bright entrepreneurs behind the Mexican ready-to-wear brand Pink Magnolia. And yes, it was Pavo, the creative dreamer, who began sewing custom designs during college at CENTRO and selling them at the first Pink Magnolia small store in Polanco, Mexico City. At only 21 years old, Paula quickly found herself with a growing reputation and a demand for her eye-catching clothing and silhouettes. Not long after, she convinced her sister Pamela to step into a business advisory role, cementing the perfect balance and family legacy. From there, a succession of opportunities came in the form of the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week runway invitation, one of many, and the highly successful collaborations with Disney. Like Lanvin, Pink Magnolia was tapped to design a wardrobe in honor of Minnie Mouse's birthday, and Barbie, propelling the Pink Magnolia brand to a global status. With recent features in WWD, Vogue Mexico, Latin America, Marie Claire Hong Kong, and a spot amongst Forbes magazine's under 30s rising stars, Pink Magnolia is forging a path for the woman who shines inside out. Welcome to the Color Authority, Pavo Wong. How are you today?
I'm very excited to be here today with you talking and very, very happy.
That makes me happy. You are the designer of Pink Magnolia, and obviously you already have a color in the brand name. So that's already something that obviously we're going to be talking about. But the first question that I ask everybody is, what is color to you?
For me, color is life, as it is. I think color brings accents and all the sense to this life. Without color, I think I will be depressed. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm Mexican. I don't know if it's because of my culture. I don't know, but I just need color in my life. So if I don't see color around, it's like depressing. So for me, color is life. And also, as you know, color is also a game of contrasts. So such is life. Life is a game of contrast all the time. And I think also is poetry, because you can express, you can story. I mean, you can communicate so many stuff through colors that for me is everything.
You have created, together with your sister, Pamela, you've created quite a successful, proud Mexican brand, starting at a very young age. I think if I'm right, Pamela, you were 21 years old. Can you tell a little bit about your journey to where you are today, in which Pink Magnolia is a worldwide recognized ready-to-wear fashion brand?
Sure. Well, we are a family, a very united family. Since we were little kids, we always loved to be like involved in how we could like be productive, not just playing around, like regular kids. But we are three sisters, and we always played since our childhood, how to make, to tell stories, we started doing bracelets and selling them to our neighbors. We also sell lemonade and churros and everything that we could do. Like we've always been very entertained by selling and creating stuff together. So naturally, that's our nowadays, that's our daily basis. We do the same now. But now we do it, thanks God, through fashion. My most passion, what can I say? It's from all the arts, I think that fashion is the most fun and way to tell a story. So yes, I studied fashion design here in Mexico City at a university called CENTRO. And for me, it has been a very it's been a challenge for me to build and to get to to be part of this new industry, because it's new fashion in Mexico. It's not it's very famous. We've been working on it for the last 10 years, and we've been working that so people can know that there's a lot of talent, a lot of creativity as well. There's a lot to offer to the world through fashion. So doing it through Pink Magnolia, our fashion brand, has been a blessing, and I'm very excited to get to work each season in a fashion collection and tell a fantasy, a story, or something that it's like inspiring me inside, and that's it.
Yeah. So you went from lemonade and churros to fashion. I love that story. So
Yes.
as you said, you work with Daniela, obviously your youngest sister, and you work with Pamela. How do you divide the work between all of you? Because you are a family company indeed.
Well, I think the three of us, we are very different. We make a very good team together. For example, I consider myself very sensitive and very like, I know, like I paying attention to small details, and I'm very like into that on the creative side. I love branding, packaging, and all that. And on the other side, I have Pamela, which is my oldest sister. And she's like the best PR marketing person you can ever know. Like, she has now two kids, and even though being a mom, she keeps working and doing and knowing and traveling and going, and it's so admiring, inspiring.
Yeah. They even have
So
their own Instagram, right?
yeah, yeah, we know.
Rebe has her own Instagram account. Yeah.
It's very fun. And well, that's my sister Pamela, no? So she, for example, I don't like talking too much or going to events or people, places. And my sister loves that. So that's amazing. She does all the alliances and stuff and get to know new people. And Danny, she's more like, she's also very sensitive, but she likes other stuff. For example, she obviously loves fashion, but she also loves food. For example, she loves restaurants, and she loves all what lifestyle includes. It's a way of living. It's not just one industry. So we love, and we have so many dreams to accomplish together. So inside the family, I think it's very cool. It's a very big opportunity, blessing, and also challenge, because it's not easy. When where you are very united, you as well can be. It's a little bit dangerous, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I can imagine that you sometimes fight a little bit, or at least you discuss a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of women
the
in
normal.
one home, right? With your mom, and then Pam's kids are both girls as well. Imagine what happens when they grow up
Yes,
and
only
get big
women.
opinions as well. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's very fun.
So you are both surrounded by color on a daily basis. We
Mhm.
all are, but you girls in a specific case. So on a number of occasions, you have announced how important color is for your brand, and you called it the pink brand, of course. Why the choice for pink?
Well, it's not something very specific with pink, Since I started the brand in 2010, 2009, I knew that I wanted the brand not to have my name, my personal name, because I wanted to keep my identity private and have my own, life. So people can also remember the brand, not me.
Mhm.
So that's why I wanted to call the brand another name. So I decided to put Pink Magnolia, which is a mix of a color, obviously, and the very like representative flower in our history. And why pink? Obviously, it's one of our favorite colors, of course, but growing up here in Mexico, we've also been like very, how can I say it? We grew up with this pink color that it's called Rosa Mexicano. And if
Mm.
it was for me, I would call the brand Rosa Magnolia. But my sister was like, no, like nobody's going to understand. Nobody, no, we need a name that any any person, Russian, Chinese, everyone can pronounce easily. So that's why we call it Pink Magnolia, and it also includes a very like important color for us. It's not that all we do is pink, of course not. It's a very important
Mm.
color. It's one of our core colors, but it's not just like everything is pink. It's like the main accent, but not, we have a lot more colors.
Okay. I think a lot of people would be happy to hear that. So you
Yes.
design clothes for women so they may shine, that they can be fully their pretty selves. Can you explain a little bit about the philosophy of your fun, feminine and I think also sometimes flirty style.
Yes. It's a happy brand, first of all. I think we like to see the positive side of life because it's not easy the day by day.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, we're full of challenges, we're full of trials, we're full of so many negative stuff around the world. And sometimes to have this this drop of happiness in life, it's like very relieving. And we like to be that relief in people's lives. So we do it through product, through pieces, through design, and obviously fashion collections. And if you ask me what are the main names, or no, what are the three words that describe the brand, I could say that obviously it's happy, is also playful, and at the same time it's, how can I say, it's I'm looking at my collection right now. It's happy, it's playful, and it's also very feminine, and but it's a feminine, genderless switch. I don't know how to say it because it's not like we have all dresses and strapless, and I don't like that feminine. I mean, I respect it, but it's not that feminine. It's the feminine inside of yourself.
Yeah.
And you can wear a blazer that it's a man's blazer, and it doesn't matter. Like, the gender doesn't matter anymore. I think the feminine thing is inside of you.
Yeah. And everybody has a feminine part, no matter what your gender is, of course.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So you want women to feel comfortable and fully themselves, no matter what the time of the day is, because obviously you have very fun collection in which women can dress, ready to go to a party. And at the same time, you obviously did the collection because of the COVID. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that indeed in a while. But I'm sure that many young designers are listening, I'm sure, and not just Mexican, globally. And they would love to hear what your main inspirations are for your designs and how you translate, because you already talked about the word fantasy. So you are a very fantasyful person. And how do you translate that into a real wearable collection?
Okay. So fantasy for me is very important because it makes me smile, right? It's like this side of closing your eyes and dream about something that can happen or not. It's up to you, right? So I like this dreamy part that includes colors and very risky stuff. But you have to be aware that life isn't a dream. Actually, life is a present full of reality. So design is about making it work. Design for me is a piece of whatever that makes your life better, right? Or the functionality is perfect. So you have, what I do or what I like doing is mixing this fantasy or this dreamy stuff I have in my mind with functionality. So you can use these items forever. It's not about trends. It's not about, it's fashion. No, it's about something that is timeless, something that you can use forever, and you can give it to your kids or to your cousins or to whoever, and it always will produce the same sensation of excitement, or that people will tell you, hey, I like your jacket. Where is it from? These comments we have all the time. And I like that in design. I think it has to have a real life. The product has to have a really long life. It's not just about, I use it once and then I collect it and put it in my closet. So that's very sad. I like giving a lot of life to each piece, and that's design for me.
I think that's also very current with what's happening today. We keep buying and we keep throwing stuff out when we don't like it anymore. And you are really understanding the consumer, their emotions, and what they need. What do you do to observe that? How do you talk to consumers? Do you just look at them in the streets? How do you do your research?
As I told you, I consider myself very sensitive to little details and energies and emotions. And I try to do it first with myself. For example, in the pandemic in last year, obviously I was feeling on a certain way. And there's a keyword I like to include all the time on my daily life, that it's called empatia, which in English is empathy.
Yeah.
Okay, empathy. So it's not just about selling a product that it's beautiful or it's very beautiful, needed or handcrafted. Obviously, that's beautiful, but it's more a human connection. It's more about how can I make that person feel better through design. And I like doing that. I think that's the reason why I'm here designing. And the coolest thing about this is that it can be through fashion. And also it can be homeware. It can be a cup of coffee, for example. It can be a pillow. You never know what piece can make you smile. So each human is a big universe. Each human is a brain full of experiences and history. So if you can, like, give a little bit of love and happiness to this person indirectly or directly, for me, my job is done.
I think that's beautiful. It even gives me a little bit of chills. But it is indeed how you are. Indeed, it's also when I met you, you are a very sensitive person and you tap into in these different energies indeed. And that is beautiful how you can translate that. How do you do that with color? Where do you find your color inspirations?
I found it everywhere in the streets, actually. Or, for example, I love traveling around my country. I have my favorite states. One of them can be, for example, Oaxaca, or I love Mérida. I love Baja California Norte. I love all the countries, never ending inspiring. So every time I go outside for a walk and I see something, I don't know, it can be something very small, stupid. I take pictures a lot, a lot, a lot. So, and every time I start doing a color palette, I browse through my pictures.
Yeah.
And I pull them together. It's, kind of like my process. And I see, well, this moment, this image inspires me, this color palette, So I start combining and doing all my stuff with colors. And also for fashion, it's very specific. Obviously, you need to know and see if that color fabric is available, if you can dye that fabric in that color specifically. So it has to be the whole picture.
Yeah, it can't just be fantasy. It can't just be a picture, because indeed I work a lot with color application as well. And some colors, they just don't work on certain materials or on certain textiles indeed. So texture, fabric is key with your brands, and you need to make them play together. So when you get to the true color application, the textile dyeing process, for example, are you part of that, or is that something that you don't personally do?
Of the dyeing of the color of the fabric?
Or the controlling of the process, the color application, yeah.
For example, yesterday I went to a very beautiful exhibition here in the city, Mexico City, from Telares de Uruapan. Uruapan is a small town in Michoacán, and it's a tradition of doing their own fabrics through telares de cintura y de pedal and all these ancient traditions. And you get to select very specifically the colors you want on the yarns so you can do the final fabric. It's amazing. It's so much, there's so many possibilities to develop that you need to have a very focused mind. And that's so hard for me as a creative because I want everything. So I need to edit and focus on my goal, I want this, please, Pavo. Concentrate and focus on your goals and develop this color, because otherwise it's you want everything. So it's amazing all you can do here in Mexico. We can develop so many stuff with cotton and with so many yarns, and it's beautiful. So yes, you can do that also. For example, in Oaxaca, you have it in Teotitlán del Valle, where you can naturally hand dye everything from cochinilla, that it's this little bug that gives you red or pink, or el añil. The añil is the blue plant that gives you blue. And actually all denim, it's dyed in añil, so there's so many stuff to learn about.
It is. It's a beautiful process. And I hope that I get to go back to Oaxaca again and see that process. It's very interesting. The word that you used, empathy, empatia, it has come back in almost every podcast that I've been doing. It's
Okay.
amazing. It's just like I was just listening to you and I was just like, there's something about that word, this and it's good because people from different design industries are talking about the same words. And yeah, maybe that is indeed how we can make people feel better indeed.
I'm glad that I'm not the only person talking about empathy, because I want to tell you something. One of the process of understanding other people and doing, I had to download TikTok, because I was like, no, I hate TikTok. I won't do it. It's like a waste of time. No, no, no. And suddenly I said, like, if I need to understand that as well, I need to do it. Okay. So I downloaded TikTok and I keep scrolling. And I respect everything, but I see like this huge wave of, I don't know, this new generation applying and spending so much time in social media, wanting them to be like approved or liked or famous easily. And it's very hard to understand this new generation. And it's not just about understanding our generation, it's also about understanding the future generations. And I think it keeps getting harder. So it's like, oh my God, how I'm going to talk to these people that they don't care about design. They just want to be like, the best body and very like with all the filters, using like fast fashion brands, because they will, like waste all the clothing that they just used on the TikTok. So it's so hard, and like, okay, this is getting harder.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to swallow, indeed, when you see that and when you see what's happening to our planet today,
Yes.
and understand that this is not the way we should be behaving. Indeed, yeah. So we are registering this now on the 22nd of July, and you just recently launched a new collection, inspired indeed from everything that has been happening over the past 2 years. An explosion of colors, really, when I looked at it. So what inspired you for this particular collection and the colors that you've chosen?
Okay, so I want to ask you first, what is your first thought or emotion when you see a rainbow? What do you feel?
Oh, happy. And obviously I was going to look for the gold.
Exactly. So that's the feeling I want to make you feel when you see our collection. And that's why I call it colors. Because after so many changes, after so many pain, after so many stuff going on around the world, what I want to communicate is a little bit of hope to everyone, that yes, okay, our present is weird, but we have all the tools to make that change. And it's not about changing people, because change starts first with us, right? First inside of us. So if we work hard in this change inside of us, if we develop this like self-love and love for everyone, then you can start changing the world. It's not an easy duty. Of course, it's very hard. It sounds very cool, but it's very hard to do it in the day by day. But it's like exercising. It's like when you go and do your your physical exercises. It's the same. It's exercising the heart. So by this, now going to the collection is when you see the colors, when you see the silhouettes, when you see, for example, some illustrations or prints in the collection, I want you to remind that through these pieces, right? So you're going to see like very simple silhouettes for the day by day, and you're going to see also like these very fun blazers using color accents in the brocades that are very cool. Or you might see like this iridescent transparent dress that can go in on top of a shirt. And also I want to invite you to have fun through fashion, right? I mean, you can use, for example, pairs of sweatpants, but you can also give a cool twist to the sweatpants through using some cool combat boots or some high heels, or you can use a leather blazer or a cool biker jacket. It's not using the pieces as we know, but also giving them a lot of lives, a lot of uses, a lot of our own style. So I want to do that through this collection.
A lot of combinations as well. Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we just talked about TikTok, and obviously the world is going digital. We had to go digital. I know you launched a collection digitally, and you even were in a digital fashion week
Mhm.
last year. So over the past 2 years, this is obviously happening. And
Yes.
probably it's going to continue largely online. How do you think this influences color for your brand? Because color online still is hard, right?
Yes and no, because we get to see it every day, all the time on Instagram. It depends on who you follow.
Hmm.
You can follow a lot of people like that are very black and white, that it's okay. But you can also, there's a lot of people that love color and they take pictures besides very colorful walls also, or they're traveling and they're like uploading these colorful places. So it depends. Like, I think there's loving color and applying it to your life. It's a way of living. I know it's not for everyone, but at least I can see that each time we're more and more and more that are like color lovers. And it's very cool to get to see in the streets, in Mexico, for example, people wearing color, no? Not just the denim and the black we're used to look at. We have it all around all the time, so why we don't use it? So, for example, I do a lot of like color challenges in my Instagram.
Hmm.
So I challenge my followers, for example, to not use black for 1 week. And they're like very inspired because they text me and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I got to use almost pieces of my closet that I didn't even remember I had. And it's been very fun.
Yeah.
That's the challenge. Stop using black for a week and you'll see how you can use the rest of your closet.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if people are going to see you then on online or in the streets, because it's about how you feel
Mm-hmm.
in the color. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
What challenges do you face as a fashion brand? Two women, three women challenging the world out of Mexico.
So many. For example, fashion, it's a very like, how do you say, a very sexy industry. It looks easy. It looks glamorous. It looks in social media very like, oh yeah, the pictures and but fashion needs more and goes beyond that, right? Having a fashion business, it's very challenging because it's also all the time very financial. You have to be financing. I don't know if I'm saying it good. Financiando.
Yeah, you need to invest.
You need to be investing in the future collections and on what you're creating. So with so many changes, and that I'm grateful for them because I think the world needed changes. Everything is different now. So now this present, because we're not like, like 1 year ago inside of an apartment without that we can go out. Right now it's weird because we have to be careful. We are like, reactivating our regular life, but it's still not regular. Like, it's
We don't feel
weird.
safe. Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't feel safe 100%.
so it's weird. So right now we're doing like small and very careful steps in the company so we can lower all the risks we challenge daily. So yes, I think one of the challenges is to keep growing online and keep like, giving the full experience online and offline, and in between, how can we grow in these both worlds, because it's not easy. So
No.
there's a lot of collaborations, and we have so many cool plans for the brand, but it's not just doing them. You need planning, you need a strategy, you need numbers, you need sales, you need so many stuff that it's hard to develop everything at the same time. So of course,
Especially if you have a lot of ideas, you still need to plan them, develop them, get them going.
the business as well. It's not just for the collections.
Yeah.
It's how you survive and how you grow. And yes, it gets very tired. O sea, sometimes I just like, Oh my God, why I didn't choose like to be a lawyer or something easier? I don't know. Why, why I decided to complicate my life so much with design and with fashion, but whatever. I mean, at the end, I think it's worth it. And that's what I was telling you. If I see people smiling
Yeah.
through our pieces, then my job is done.
But you found your true purpose in life. And I
Yeah.
don't think there's so many people that have. So I think that's amazing. Who is your main inspiration in or outside the fashion world? Who do you aspire?
Who is my main inspiration?
Yeah, like either a fashion designer or a designer. Maybe it's a cook. Maybe it's an actor.
No, I don't think it's human. I'm kidding.
That's also possible.
I'm very inspired by God. I see all the wonders and, in day by day. So he's, for me, the best designer. He's the most creative energy that could happen to the world. So, yes, I'm inspired by that. Of course, my culture, yes, all the history in this country is very inspiring for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I could say my sisters inspire myself because I see strong women that have been growing with me. And of course, I see them crying as well because we are humans, but we are always trying to be strong together and keep very like authentic and very, very true our beliefs and all what we want in this life.
Yeah, that's how I saw you in date when we first met. So from
Mhm.
indeed the European perspective, of course, colors are different here. Culture is extremely different here. Mexico is so inspiring. It's filled with opportunities in the creative field that I've recently understood very well. Is that how you, because I know you're very inspired by your own culture as well. Do you think that that has changed? Like, how is Mexico perceived in the world of fashion today, and is that changing from the last couple of years? Or do you also see a bright future for Mexican fashion?
Yeah, it has changed. And for the first time, I could tell that, thanks God, Mexicans now value their own culture, their own design, their own architecture, food, everything that surrounds us. Because historically, we have been a country that Europe came to, well, Spain came to tell us that we weren't enough and it was not cool and that Spain is better. So with that in our minds, imagine like everything from the outside is better than here. And no, it's been a work of so many years of so many talented, creative, genius Mexicans and also foreigners that are inspired by Mexico that came and developed so many art. I can tell, no, not okay. Frida Kahlo de Rivera, yes, okay, but for example, Gettys and all these like architectures that came or artists that came to Mexico and stayed here to live and create here. It's like, wow, so many that I could like stay here forever and tell you all these people that are inspired about from our culture and stay here to live. So yes, I think from thanks God now people now values their own beverages, mezcal, our own sushi, our own everything, and that changes the behavior at the end of consuming. For example, instead of going to the US and going shopping, oh my God, they can go and shop here in our city and get to
Mexican brands. Yeah.
Mexican brands or Mexican wine or Mexican restaurants or go and visit a Mexican architecture house or I don't know. It's so much going on from
Yeah.
so many years beyond to now that it's like never ending. Yeah,
And I think that's how I see Mexico. It's never ending, especially in the creative fields. It's amazing, and I think it has a very bright future in the creative field. What is next for your brand? Is there something that's, although it's maybe still a little bit of a secret, that you want to unveil to the
no.
audience?
Well, it's not a secret that we are working very hard. We keep on developing new stuff that it's we like to think out of the box. It's not just designing what it's expected to see on the next season. I like surprising myself as well. For me, each collection is a challenge, first with numbers and then creative, of course. For example, right now I'm working on Spring Summer 22. We're planning to present it on October. October is going to be a very busy month for us because we have a lot of collaborations coming. We also are planning a very special pop-up inside of a department store here in Mexico that it's going to be very cool. We want to give and communicate all the full Pink Magnolia shopping experience through this pop-up, and it's going to be very cool, hopefully. And I don't know, we're working on a lot of stuff that is coming for mainly October and November.
So exciting for you. The best of luck.
And keep alive.
Yes, trying to keep alive in the meantime. Yeah, of course. Yeah. What do you dream about? Either personally, or what would really be a dream come true?
Maybe for me, a dream come true is that I can see Mexican fashion all around the world. That is not just something that you can come and shop here, right? That, oh yeah, I went to Mexico and saw this amazing fashion brand. Woo, no, it's like, oh my God, I bought this amazing piece from this Mexican brand in London, in Tokyo, in Thailand. The world is global and we need to be global brands as well. So to give that international step will be my dream. That I think that is one of my main goals. And as well,
what advice, as the last question to our talk, what advice do you have for the audience listening? Some of the lessons that you have learned and you think are really important for young creatives that are listening.
Okay, so my advice would be, I think sometimes it's overwhelming to think about a project you want to do or a design piece you want to develop, because I think it's designing is more, it's not just about doing beautiful stuff, evolving a lot of techniques or stuff. I think we need to think very profound why we're doing it. Why and which purpose? Why is my main goal and what will make me that feel? I don't know if I say it good.
How will it make you feel? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because
so intuition in the end.
Yes, a lot of intuition, a lot of personal work, and to keep healthy from the mind, from our hearts. I think it's one of the hardest tasks right now. This equilibrio.
The balancing, yeah.
It's hard. Balance in a very weird world. To keep the balance, it's so hard. And I can tell personally, sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm here, and I need to work to be here, in the middle with this balance that makes me being good, feel good, to then create stuff. Because, for example, a couple of weeks ago, if I felt sad or depressed or whatever, I don't want to do anything. I'm just like, why? For what? And it's not that we need to be in that point of our life. So yeah, read and do what makes you feel a better person. Go on for a walk, work on your heart. I don't know, go to therapy, whatever, and focus on being okay first. And then you can professionally be whatever you want.
I think that's very good advice. First, be okay yourself, and then you move, then you take action. Yeah.
Yes. It's very hard, but yes.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's a continuous journey.
In the university, everyone is like, do this, and everything in life is about doing, and it's not just about doing, it's about being. We are human beings, so focus on that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pavo. You are an inspiring person. You have a very good energy. You have a very good vibe. And I know people are they're gonna hear that when they're obviously going to be listening. And they are sure are going to be inspired by all that you have told us. So thank you so much for being part of the TCA podcast.
Thank you for this opportunity, for this platform. I hope you keep safe and happy.
Thank you so much, Pavo.
We'll hope to see you very soon. Take care.
So this was Judith Van Vliet from the Color Authority. Thank you for listening again to yet another episode. If you haven't done so, please go to Apple Podcasts, subscribe, review, and send us feedback on this episode. And I hope that you will be listening to the next episode coming out very, very soon. Thank you and have an amazing, colorful day.